Hey Steve, thanks for your reply. I really appreciate having the opportunity to clarify the discussion that I was having with Julian, um, because it comes up a lot and it's frustrating for the same reasons I was expressing in my last video, but also because he and I, personally, I think we agree on a lot. I've interacted with him for a long time in the blogosphere, and there's a lot that we see eye to eye on, and a lot that we don't. And it's difficult for me to figure out exactly where it is that we're disagreeing. I think it has something to do with the role of myth in our lives. Julian thinks that myth and symbolism and metaphor have a very deep role to play in our lives, but he thinks it's a psychological role, whereas I think it's an ontological role. Myth is inbuilt into the structure of reality. It's part of what undergirds reality. And when I say that, what I mean is that reality is always receding from view. Something that Heidegger talked quite a bit about is that being is concealing and unconcealing itself all the time. And when it's concealed, um, it's hidden from view. And the only way to grok its meaning and significance is through myth. But I don't think myth is just a human form of, a flawed human form of explanation. Myth is a form of participation in that deeper, hidden, and mysterious structure of reality. And when you say that, religious language, the kind of religious and spiritual language that I sometimes use is numinous, when you say that, or when you say that words like numinous are obscure, um, I think it's of necessity because reality itself is obscure. And when Heidegger talks about a clearing, I think what he's referring to is those rare moments when being seems to speak for itself. So being becomes present. It reveals itself, but in the absence of logos, in the absence of language. Um, and the clearing is not a presencing, because still when being shows itself, something is hidden, but it's that hiddenness that creates a sense of wonder and awe, um, which Socrates once remarked is the beginning of philosophy. Philosophy begins in wonder. And I would say it also must end there, so that the name of the game isn't explanation. It is the production and maintenance of wonder. That's the end of philosophy. Socrates also said that philosophy is learning to die. And I think that's an important teaching as well. Plato discussed not only the reality of life after death, but life before birth, situating our identities in a much longer narrative of reincarnation. And I don't think that there's any sort of simple continuity of personality from life to life, but there is the inheritance of what we could call karma. Every one of our actions, be they psychological acts or behavioral, physical acts, has consequences, and those consequences bleed into the future, and subsequent generations either suffer or benefit from the actions that we take. And I think on some level, individual souls are intertwined, and so whatever is reincarnating, it's more like a soul cluster. It's a collective karma. But whatever is the purest form of our consciousness here and now in this life, I do think existed before our birth and will persist after our death. Now, it's very mysterious and difficult to talk about without sounding obscure, but that's what religious symbolism is for. and it plays an important role in human life, and it always will, because reality, being, the universe will never be fully present to us, no matter how much scientific investigation uh, we endeavor upon. There will always be something hidden. I think that's my point.